So this isn't so much flash news as it is just news, but I'm still going to do it anyway. This was about 4 or 5 days ago that Tabata sent out a tweet that DualShockers has translated for us, and it's about the FF15 expansions, and I find this exciting, guys, and I really think this could imply what we all want in this game, but I'll get onto more on that in a minute. So the tweet is, we will evolve our released FF15 game more and more, and together we will also evolve. But here's the exciting bit, guys. We will further evolve the foundation of the game. Foundation. Now, I thought I was reading too much into it when I thought foundation. That really implies far more than the current DLCs we've had announced. So we know we're getting the Prompto Ignis Gladiolus one, the 6 expansions that have the Brotherhood in. We know that Gladiolus is going up against Gilgamesh. Can't wait for that. Battle on the big bitch. Battle on the big bridge, I mean. But then I also thought it could mean the multiplayer. We know we're getting that, and that would really be a huge evolution on the very foundation of the game. Then you've got the avatar system. But even then, I kind of thought, I don't know, this kind of implies that there's a unannounced DLC. And then it did get announced in just the very next line as I was thinking that. So Tabata says, Final Fantasy 15 is undergoing development for the updates, and we're working on an unannounced, awesome expansion. An unannounced one. There is a secret DLC in the works, and I think we all know what we're thinking we want it to be, and this would be so smart for Square to do it. We are all thinking Dark World. Dark World in Final Fantasy 15, and I really think it could be possible, because despite everything that Square Enix have been with 15, one thing they have been is very receptive to the fan base. When we said we wanted airships, they did it. When we said we wanted Moogles, they did it, as well as a ton of other things like climbing. And I'm typically not one who likes that, for a developer to listen to the fans. I know that sounds weird, but I like them to take the more Nomura approach. I like them to have their own vision and run with it, because when fans start getting involved, things get murkier. Things that I find quite trivial and detracting from the true vision of the game start getting used, and I kind of felt that with the Moogles especially, and kind of the airships. I really loved the regalia, I loved the flying, it was beautiful, but when we know how much resource and time it took and effort to get that, it kind of makes you think, did it detract from other things? Perhaps it didn't, or perhaps it did. It's the same with the Moogles. They actually formed 2 months out from the game's release. They pulled Yasuyuki Matsunami, who was the overworld director. They pulled him to put bloody Moogles in. Now, perhaps he had finished his work, but when we look at the rumours that there was supposed to be a Dark World Lestallum that was near completion, when we look at that there was Tenebrae dungeons, Ultisia dungeons, more snowy regions to explore with Niflheim, and I'll just say, these rumours did say that there was more Dark World Lestallum, and they did say that there was more Niflheim, and a lot of people didn't believe it. But the fact we're now getting YouTube videos coming out where people have glitched through the game and they're exploring these huge expansive areas that show, yeah, Square Enix actually had start building a huge portion of the world that got cut from the final product. Now, to think that they're going to work on putting those back in, I mean, it's going to happen, guys. It's definitely going to happen, and I really hope that one of those is Dark World Lestallum. And with how many fans have been asking for it since the game, I mean, Tabata's coming out and saying that they're now putting in a new DLC. When they've been listening to fan feedback, and pretty much every fan feedback on social media, on YouTube, on the forums, everyone's been saying more Dark World. I think it could really be that. I'm hoping it's that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below what you think this unannounced DLC could be. There have supposedly been some leaks of images from the expansion's secret ending, this picture here. Now, I don't know the validity of this. This could be complete bullshit, but this is obviously Iris and Noctis, so even if there isn't Dark World, if there's an expansion where Noctis and Iris run off together, I'm happy with that, because yeah, Iris was adorable. So again, let me know what you think it could be, or indeed what you want it to be, this unannounced one. We will be having an ATR very soon, so we're gonna get an active time report, and they're back after the game has released. And this is what I was saying, guys, this is why it really doesn't feel like this game is finished. It's just not. I keep saying this, the game is, for all intents and purposes, still in development. I think this is what people need to realise. It is still in development. They hit that 2016 date because it was an absolute requirement date. They couldn't delay this any further. But when we know how much been cut and how much potential there is to still go back in, both in DLC and in free cutscenes, I think the way people need to look at it is that they've released it because it was a necessity, but now the pressure is off. The pressure really is off. This is where Square Enix can go to work. This is where they can really start building and evolving on it. And I really hope they do it with the story more than anything. So Lestallum and Prompto being father and son, let's get that in. Let's get everything with Luna, get the dark grittiness in. We know that one of those is going to be Ravus's intentions. We can have more Noctis on the Brotherhood. Hell, I know we all want more on Arden. And I think the Ignis expansion could really be Arden going head to head with Ignis. It kind of implied Ignis, after he got blinded, he said he couldn't outsmart him. And we know that Ignis's DLC is going to be puzzle-like, so that kind of implies that Arden and Ignis had a battle of the minds, one that Ignis lost. That would be so exciting. But the one thing I will say, just to abate the hype and to bring everyone back down, I actually don't think that these DLCs are anywhere near as far through as we think. So this unannounced one, I don't think it's around the corner. And the reason I say that, Sue Lightning did an interview with Ray Chase asking him about that, Ray Chase being the voice actor for Noctis. She asked him, are they going to be going back? He believes that they are. She asked him, has he been back? And he said he hasn't. And that was only about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So after he got recording the main game, he hasn't been back for any DLC. And I would imagine that whatever this unannounced DLC, that is going to have Noctis in it. So, I mean, I think that makes sense. I think the first ones are still going to be the Gladiolus, Promptus, and Ignis ones. So that would make sense as to why Ray Chase hasn't gone back. If they're working on those ones first, Ravus's voice actor could have gone back. Maybe even Luna Freya's, Amy Shields. And anyway, that's not even true. If the unannounced expansion is Dark World, let's cross our fingers and our toes. Of course, they're going to have to build the world first. Ray Chase coming in to do more Noctis in Dark World scenes. That would be one of the very last things to happen. So it could be in development. I think the rumors are true. I think it already was in development. Let me know in the comment section below what you all think. Until the next video.
Come on!